At this point, it's like, it doesn't even matter. Like, why are we giving trillions? Another 20 billion to Israel, please, is not a policy prescription that anyone is on board with, okay? Let's get to some real thinkers. That's right. It's time to be fucking value-tained. Patrick Bet-David!
Prime Minister Netanyahu faces potential arrest in UK following an international criminal court, ICC, warrant for alleged war crimes in Gaza, which also includes former Defense Minister Yoav Gallant. Downing Street has confirmed the UK will uphold its legal obligations under ICC Act 2001, which mandates compliance with such warrants. While the government refrained from commenting on specific causes, a spokesperson emphasized that Netanyahu would not receive special treatment if he were to visit UK. The ICC actions have sparked political debate, which we'll talk about here in a minute. And at the same time, you got, what's his name, comes out. Justin Trudeau comes out, page 9 it is, and he says the following. Let me see, does it say?
These guys are so funny because, like, there's a lot of discontent in their audience towards Israel, but they still have to, like, try and frame it in a way where Israel is still the good guys. So he's just going to fucking point to, like, Justin Trudeau and libs to be like, oh, you know, this guy is just like Donald Trump, Netanyahu. He's just like Donald Trump, but of Israel. And also, Justin Trudeau, we know he's a bitch and he wants to arrest Netanyahu. That's why you should like Netanyahu. Not going to work.
It says page 9 here, but I don't have it. Where is page 9, Rob? It says Justin Trudeau, Canada's Trudeau. Do you see that story? I don't have it here. Is it on 10?
Right here.
Okay.
9.
Canada's Trudeau says he would arrest Netanyahu on ICC orders. He stated on Thursday that Canada would enforce the ICC warrant for Prime Minister Netanyahu, emphasizing we stand up for international law and we will abide by all the regulations and ruling of the international courts. This is just who we are as Canadians. Trudeau highlighted broader goals amid the Gaza conflict, such as aid flowing in, the release of hostages, and return to two-state solution, condemning Hamas while urging for a ceasefire to protect civilians. He acknowledged the domestic challenges for Canadian communities impacted by the conflict, stating, we have to remember who we are, be there for each other, pushing for peace and stability as hard as we can. Tom.
This whole thing is borderline ridiculous. You've got two countries that are basically at war, one against its will, right? Israel's been dragged into a war, you know, and it is a war. It is fake. It's not just a border skirmish and a battle. It's a war. And they have been dragged into it. And now you're going to say,
yeah, those babies shouldn't have been sleeping in their cribs if they didn't want to get fucking murdered by Israel. Israel saw brown children existing and was like, we have to kill them.
all of the leaders that are doing things that are horrible, and the people from Hamas and Hezbollah and Iranian leaders that are responsible for things, funding them, encouraging them, and doing all this. The one guy that you say, we're going to pull him over for speeding because, you know, he's done some things and these are...
There's no way ICC should arrest you guys for charging $99 for a garbage hat. So the ICC is wrong because if we hold Netanyahu accountable, then we have to hold the U.S. president accountable. They forgot to add paid for by AIPAC in this video. Come on. See, I fucking told you. Independent thinkers, okay, that go to Patrick Bet-David don't want to hear him fucking rehash like Republican Party positions. They want him to talk about the truth. Did he just call Lindsey Graham a voice of reason? This man is surely out of his mind. Tom and Adam also should be arrested for their hypocrisy. Really? So genocide is now accepted. Please update your info on this. Unacceptable. I forgot that this channel is super pro-Israel and everything. He is not targeted by the ICC. He's being held accountable. There's a huge difference. Netanyahu was more like Dick Cheney of Israel. No one should kiss the ring. This is an eye-opening segment. Makes me question the perspective of these guys. I'm telling you right now, man, for a lot of people, this is like completely unacceptable. It's not that impressive. I called it out before the fucking video started, chat. Why do you think I knew that that was going to be the comment section? Because no matter where you find yourself on the political spectrum, those are all Trump voters, by the way. Like, no matter where you find yourself on the political spectrum, a lot of people, especially like the I'm an independent thinker people, they see what the fuck's going on and they're like, this shit sucks. What do you mean? This kind of like rapacious, endless dick riding of Israel as it's conducting this ethnic cleansing campaign is fucking ridiculous. It's so ridiculous that it makes people frustrated. Like, people are like, what are you talking about? These are people who don't give a fuck about Muslims, by the way. There are a lot of people out there who do not give a fuck about Muslims. Like, they don't give a shit. If it was America melting Iraqi children, they're like on board. But they see what the fuck Israel's doing and they're like, okay, dude, like, what is this? Why are we giving like billions of dollars to these guys? And they're so fucking arrogant in the process. They come in to the United States of America. They speak in front of Congress. Congress fucking claps like seals. They do a standing ovation to this guy who is now has an arrest warrant for being a fucking war criminal by the ICC. Like, most normal people see that and go, what the fuck is happening? And I'll take it one step further. Beyond that, beyond the fact that most normal people see that, considering that there's already a lot of nascent, unexamined anti-Semitic tendencies amongst the American population and the Western world in general, they go, oh shit, maybe Jews do control the fucking media and the government. That's literally how they think. It's not an accident that there's so many chatters are like, yeah, dude, I don't know what the fuck to do. There's like so many people in my like immediate friend group have, I feel like, started pointing to like incredibly fucking anti-Semitic takes and shit. That's what's going on. People don't see the negative consequences, or even if they do, they're too nearsighted. They are so fucking short-sighted to not recognize that this endless defense of Israel is just genuinely making people go, yeah, I'm anti-Semitic. Who gives a fuck? Fuck you. Okay? And when you also dilute the severity of the term anti-Semitism, anti-Semite, to like even point to people like myself who are obviously anti-Israel, not anti-Semitic at all. As a matter of fact, I criticize Israel because it fucking constantly claims it's doing this shit for Jews. What the fuck do you think people are going to think? You might think in the long term, like, Israel will win this and it doesn't matter. And, you know, you just got to keep rehashing the same old dynamic over and over again. Like, oh, all criticizers of Israel are anti-Semitic. Why do you hyper focus on Israel? What about all these other war crimes? It's like, bitch, what the fuck are you talking about? We're giving billions of dollars, dude. Like, it's not a good deflection anymore. It's like fucking, it is literally like promoting ISIS and being like, ISIS is the most significant Islamic movement. And like, if you criticize ISIS for their acts of terror, you're a fucking Islamophobe. That's what it sounds like.
These are war crimes. Some civilians have died. These are war crimes. The one guy the ICC wants to pull over is Netanyahu. Shouldn't there be a long list of other people from Iran and Syria and some other locations? Really?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, countries that have been sanctioned into oblivion. Perhaps there's a difference between fucking Israel doing this with American weapons and like countries that are already outside of the sphere of American influence.
Really? The one guy you want to pull over? And then the UK says, we'll back it up, but you got to remember who's speaking and who the UK is. If you've been to London, you know why they call it right now Londonistan. You know why they call it that. That's not a bad nickname. That's what's going on.
Yeah. That's why the UK said, like, we would unwittingly abide by the Rome Statute, which we're a party to. Bro, they literally had a fucking pogrom. Not an anti-Jewish pogrom, like an anti-Islam pogrom. An anti-immigrant pogrom recently. Like a week after the fucking Tories lost. Like a real one, not like the Amsterdam one. Jump on PBD and set the record straight, homie. I should. Patrick Bet-David is so, I mean, he's a little bit cowardly. I think he's letting this guy do it. This guy's like a crazy Christian fundamentalist, if I'm not mistaken.
On and the political climate, just like Minneapolis, just like we have with Omar and our own government, this is the things they say. And so you're not hearing the core of the UK. You're not hearing sensible, Western leaders saying, hang on a second, there's a war going on and there's people, should be a whole group of people that's pulled over for speeding here. Look.
I think it's pretty funny that like the only defenses people have against this metric ton of evil is to just hit the Islamophobia button and be like, you don't understand. All the naysayers are like disgusting Muslims, okay? They're bad guys. But because Israel's actions are so uniquely awful, that even Islamophobic people are like, come on, dog. Yeah, I hate Muslims too, but like, Israel's kind of gotten a little out of hand, don't you think? for so many people that want to defend Israel, like the most, you know, the number one defense always is like, well, have you considered that Israel's killing Muslims and that's good? And at this point, it's like, it doesn't even matter. For most people, it's just like, dude, I just want to fix the fucking potholes. Like, why are we giving trillions? Another 20 billion to Israel, please, is not a policy prescription that anyone is on board with, okay? They don't even want to give Ukraine weapons. And at least Ukraine is defending itself, man. Americans are like, why the fuck are we giving Ukraine weapons? And Ukrainians are like fucking dying. And that's not mostly because they're pro-Russia, with the exception of like a couple dumbasses in a Telegram group that like got duped into thinking that, Russia is anti-trans and that's why, I like Russia or some shit. With that exception, it's like, for most people, it's like, why the fuck are we giving Ukraine so much money? That's what Americans think, okay? For a lot of Americans who don't even want to give fucking Ukraine money or weapons when they are defending themselves against a nation state that America has historically considered the enemy from the USSR times all the way to now, why the fuck do you think they would be fine? With the exception of the right-wing, rabid, evangelical Christian weirdos, most Americans look at this and go, why the fuck are we giving so much money? Why are we giving so much money to Israel? This doesn't make sense.
Look at this. And then you've got Trudeau. Don't look at Trudeau as a Western Canadian. He's a socialist Marxist that was elected by his last name and is doing his best to ensure he's unelected at the first opportunity, which will happen. That's what's going on here. It's ridiculous. This is the liberal side of media that's pulling these things.
Dude, Israel dick riders are so funny.
Horrible. But this is
Adam,
really
thoughts?
ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, just a quick list of. Do you understand how the ICC works? So, there's the United Nations Security Council. I think there's 5 permanent members on the UN Security Council. So there's 3 that are kind of on our team, and there are 2 on the other team. So you have the US, you have the UK, and you have France. And then number 4 and 5 are China and Russia. And at any point, anyone can veto or suggest that someone goes to the criminal court of the ICC.
Well, seems to me like 2 members of the fucking UN Security Council that are supposed to be on our team are now saying that they will follow through on the arrest of Benjamin Netanyahu. Will this cause me to reflect and reconsider my position? No, it won't. Also, the ICC, it doesn't matter what the UN is in terms of the ICC. It's a separate institution.
The International Criminal Court. So here's who's been recommended to go to the criminal court, but it's been blocked by China and Russia. Do you remember what Bashar al-Assad did to his people in Syria? Hundreds of thousands, if not over 1 million people dead in a Syrian civil war. This good-looking gentleman right here, Bashar al-Assad, 1 million people dead. No arrest, no nothing.
And he probably used biochemical.
What's the argument? He gets to do it so we can do it too? Like, I don't understand. Also, it's not even a we. You live in Miami, dog. What the fuck? At least one of them is Jewish. So he actually fucking got propaganda from, an early age. The other guy is the rabid Christian evangelical.
Well, he did. Okay. Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, what they're doing to basically subjugate their people, the thug-like regime in Iran, no ramifications.
What about Erdogan? Yeah, he'll say that too in a second. Erdogan just shut off water access to 1 million Kurds in northern Syria. He's going to say that. Yeah, guess what, dude? You want to know why he gets to do that? Because he's fucking NATO. That's it. That's it. If you are in America's orbit and you are a part of the American imperial apparatus, they will let you do that shit. What? The FBI posted its file on Black Lives Matter today. It's small, only 77 pages and mostly news clippings. But it looks like at some point during 2017, they were monitoring protesters showing up to Ben Shapiro lectures. Hey, if you like this video, please subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss out on any future videos.